sabihin na there was a moment of realization where I thought, oh, ang galing ko pala mag-isip. And
a $5 billion gamble on Alex Eala has been rejected, and the top 50 is about to explode. Welcome back to Golf Vision, the ultimate hub for everything tennis. Before we dive headfirst into the wildest story to ever cross our desks, I need to pause for just a moment to celebrate something incredible with you. We've just surpassed 3,000 subscribers. That's right, 3,000 amazing tennis fans who show up every single day, ready to ride with us through every twist, every turn, every upset, and every triumph. You are the heartbeat of this channel, and hitting this milestone feels like a victory for all of us. If you're watching and haven't subscribed yet, now's the perfect time to join the ride. What are you even waiting for? Today is your day to join the Champions Tennis family, because what we're about to break down is a once-in-a-generation story. Buckle up, this isn't just tennis news, it's a cultural earthquake, the kind of headline that makes you stop scrolling, put down your phone, and ask out loud, wait, did that really just happen? We're talking billion-dollar boardrooms colliding with baseline battles, Silicon Valley titans chasing rising tennis superstars, and a 20-year-old Filipino sensation who just stared down the most powerful CEO on the planet and essentially said, thanks, but I'm building something bigger than money. The tennis world is on fire, and at the center of this inferno is one name you need to know, Alex Eala. She's not just playing tennis, she's rewriting what it means to be a global athlete today, giving birth to an icon, sparking a movement, and crafting the kind of underdog-to-champion story Hollywood execs would kill to option. And here's the headline that's breaking the internet and sending shockwaves from Manila to Menlo Park to Melbourne. Multiple insider sources confirm that Tim Cook, chairman and CEO of Apple, has personally intervened to make Alex an offer that defies all logic and precedent in sports marketing. This isn't your standard endorsement deal, this is something entirely new, and the world is watching. Not talking about a standard iPhone endorsement where an athlete shows up, smiles for the cameras, and collects a check. This is audacious, unprecedented, so bold it makes LeBron's lifetime Nike deal look quaint. According to insider reports, Tim Cook personally authorized a proposal that includes a $1 billion upfront cash investment, plus a $500 million annual commitment over 10 years. Let that sink in. When you factor in equity stakes, performance bonuses, and back-end participation, the deal could theoretically approach $6 billion in total value. Apple wasn't just after a spokesperson, they were positioning Alex Eala as the face of their entire Asian expansion strategy, a co-owner in regional ventures, and essentially the human embodiment of the Apple brand for billions of consumers across the fastest-growing market on the planet. The message was clear, direct, and irresistible. You will be the face of Apple Asia. For context, Apple doesn't make billion-dollar commitments lightly, they measure every investment against decades of projected returns. For Tim Cook to personally champion this deal means that Apple's analytics, market research, and brand strategists all agreed. Alex Eala isn't just a rising tennis star, she is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to capture the hearts, minds, and wallets of an entire generation across Southeast Asia and beyond. With the Philippines at nearly 120 million people and Southeast Asia approaching 700 million, these are markets where Apple sees explosive potential and Alex is their gateway. Apple is fighting tooth and nail against Samsung, Xiaomi, and other competitors for market share, and landing someone like Alex Eala as the centerpiece of a decade-long marketing campaign could shift billions in consumer behavior. This isn't just smart business, it's the kind of strategic chess move that separates good companies from generational empires. But here's where the story takes a turn nobody saw coming. In the face of this, an offer that would secure generational wealth, make her one of the richest athletes on earth. Before even hitting her prime, Alex Eala reportedly stunned Tim Cook himself with her response. While sources differ slightly on the exact wording, her essence was clear in about 17 words. I am deeply honored by the vision you've presented, but my racket speaks for my country first, and my legacy is built on the court, not in boardrooms. That is something no amount of money can purchase because it is priceless. Pause for a moment and let that sink in. A 20-year-old who trained at the Rafa Nadal Academy, battled through qualifiers and challenger events, and fully understands the weight of financial security, looked at a billion-dollar offer and said, in effect, I respect what you're offering, but I'm not for sale. What I'm building is bigger than your balance sheet. That is not the response of a typical athlete. That is the birth of a legend. This is not the response of someone motivated purely by endorsements or appearance fees. This is the response of someone who understands that true legacy, the kind that echoes through generations, cannot be manufactured in a corporate boardroom. It must be earned through sweat and sacrifice on the court, forged in moments of adversity where you discover strengths even you didn't know existed. It comes from representing your flag at the highest level and inspiring an entire nation to believe anything is possible. And that brings us to where Alex Eala is proving herself every single day. While the business world speculated about billion-dollar deals, Eala was in Auckland, New Zealand, at the ASB Classic, dismantling opponents and climbing the rankings in real time. This tournament has been nothing short of a coming-out party. Over the past few years, we've watched her grow on tour, navigating the ups and downs every young player faces, but her performance at this event marked something different. It wasn't just a good week, it was a statement. The marquee moment came in the quarterfinals against Magda Linette, the experienced Polish star seeded 5th in the tournament. For those who follow Eala closely, this matchup carried enormous psychological weight. Linette had been Eala's kryptonite, defeating her twice in 2025, once at the Abu Dhabi Open and again at the Nottingham Open, using veteran savvy to dismantle the young Filipina in straight sets. Eala herself admitted struggling to solve Linette's puzzle, as the Polish player expertly mixed pace, shifted rhythms, and neutralized Eala's weapons. So, heading into this quarterfinal, questions loomed. Could Alex break through the mental barrier, adjust her game plan, and handle a player who would figure her out? Would the pressure of the moment, knowing that a top 50 win could define her trajectory, weigh her down or fuel her rise? Could the pressure of a top 50 ranking tighten Eala up? The answer came loud and clear over 97 minutes of brilliant tennis. Alex Eala is not the same player she was 6 months ago. She walked onto the court and delivered a comprehensive, tactically mature beatdown, winning 6-3, 6-2 in a match that looked comfortable on the scoreboard but demanded every ounce of mental fortitude she possessed. The match began in the worst possible way for Eala. Linette, brimming with the confidence of someone who had beaten her twice before, aggressively broke Eala's serve in the opening game. You could almost hear the collective groan from Eala's supporters worldwide. The thought crossed everyone's mind. Here we go again, another day where experience beats youth, another lesson learned the hard way. But then we saw a different Alex. Instead of letting the early break snowball into panic, instead of succumbing to doubt, she responded with immediate fury, breaking back in the very next game. That moment sent a clear message to Linette. This wasn't going to be business as usual. That sequence, that immediate response, was not just the turning point of the match, it could very well mark the turning point of Eala's entire career. That match demonstrated a true champion's mentality. You can knock me down, but I'm getting up swinging, and I'm coming for you. From that moment on, Alex Eala began to seize control. Her forehand found its range, painting the lines and pushing Linette deeper behind the baseline. Her serve, tentative in past meetings, was now clicking, letting her dictate points from the very first ball. In the 6th game of the opening set, she broke Linette a second time, and you could see the veteran start to press, sensing the momentum shifting. Eala closed out the set with composure that looked like someone who had been winning big matches her entire life. The second set was an absolute clinic in front-running. Eala exploded from the start, racing to a 4-0 lead, attacking with freedom and aggression that left Linette scrambling to stay in rallies. Back-to-back breaks, pinpoint angles, and a confident serve left no room for doubt. Linette, to her credit, fought back with a break of her own, but Ella's determination was relentless. She immediately broke again in the 7th game, then, in the ultimate display of killer instinct, served out the match to love against a player who had beaten her twice before. That's not luck. That's not chance. That's the rise of a champion. That's the mark of a player who has done the mental work, studied the film, and put in the hours with her coaching team to identify what needed to change, and then had the guts to execute when the lights were brightest. In her post-match interview, Eala was characteristically humble, yet the satisfaction radiating from her was impossible to miss. She acknowledged her history with Linette, noting that the experienced Polish star had posed challenges in the past, and she was genuinely happy to see her game improving. Eala talked about doing her best, seizing openings when they arose, and having the confidence to go for them. She even called the match difficult, which speaks to the respect she holds for her opponents and the competitive nature of professional tennis. Difficult maybe, but she made it look like destiny. The rewards for this breakthrough victory are immense, not only in confidence but in ranking points and the opportunities they unlock. Every comment, every prediction, every bit of support you leave fuels this channel and the conversation around these incredible athletes. We read everything. We see you. We appreciate you. And while you're down there in the comments, do me one more favor. If this video got you hyped, if you learned something, if you're now emotionally invested in Alex Eala's journey like we are, smash that like button. That little thumbs up tells YouTube this content matters, that tennis fans crave deep dives and real analysis, and it helps us reach even more people who need to know what's happening in this sport. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. We just crossed 3,000 subscribers, which is incredible, but we're just getting started. Our goal is to become the #1 destination for tennis news, analysis, and storytelling on YouTube, and we cannot do it without you. When you subscribe, you join this journey. You get notified every time we drop a new video, every time there's breaking news, every time something massive happens in the tennis world. And trust me, with players like Alex Eala on the rise, there will be no shortage of monumental moments. Turn on those notification bells too, because in today's YouTube landscape, subscribing isn't enough. You need to actively tell YouTube you want to see our content. That way, you'll never miss a breaking story, an in-depth analysis, or a moment of drama and excitement that makes tennis the greatest sport on the planet. This is Champions Tennis, your home for everything tennis. We'll be back with more updates, more analysis, more stories that make you laugh, make you think, and make you appreciate just how special this sport and these athletes really are. Stay tuned, stay passionate, stay loud in your support for players like Alex Eala, who represent the very best of what sports can be. And above all, keep watching the ball because the best is yet to come. The Alex Eala era has officially arrived, and we are all lucky enough to witness it unfold.
Love it. Okay, you guys know the market in a minute.
What is your current iPhone?
I'm using the 15 Pro Max.
Pro Max.
And I love it.
Yeah.
It's attached to me.
No, the academy has been my home for the past 7 years. And of course, I have to take credit